is a question that gets asked in trade finance more often than you would think. A contractor defaults on a project worth $50 million. The bank guarantee was issued for $5 million. The beneficiary suffers huge losses. Now, can they go to the bank and claim more than $5 million? Can they say, look, our actual loss is far greater, so pay us more? The answer is absolutely not, my dear friends. And Article 12 of URDG 758 makes sure of that. Article 12 defines exactly how far a guarantor's liability goes and, equally importantly, exactly where it stops. Welcome back to English Trade Bites, your article by article series on URDG 758, the ICC's Uniform Rules for Demand Guarantees. I'm Ravneet, and if you are joining us for the first time, subscribe right now to Ravneet Knowledge Bites, my YouTube channel, and explore the English Trade Bites playlist. All earlier episodes are right there waiting for you. Today we are on Article 12, Extent of Guarantor's Liability under Guarantee. And this one is short, sharp, and something every trade finance professional must understand cold. Article 12 says this: a guarantor is liable to the beneficiary only in accordance with, first, the terms and conditions of the guarantee, and second, these rules so far as they are consistent with those terms and conditions up to the guarantee amount. One sentence, three boundaries. Let us break each one down, simplifying. We'll use it Rahul's example we've been using in our series. You know Rahul by now, owner of Build Right Constructions, Mumbai, an India-based company, with his infrastructure contract with the UAE government authority, and we assume that Axis Bank India is his bank and it has issued a performance guarantee in favor of the beneficiary UAE authority for a specific amount. Now let us say it is $5 million US. Now Article 12 tells us exactly what Axis Bank is liable for and what it is not. The first boundary, the terms and conditions of the guarantee itself. Axis Bank is liable only in accordance with what is written in the guarantee document. If the guarantee says payment will be made upon presentation of a signed statement of default from the UAE authority, that is the condition. If the UAE authority presents that statement and everything complies, Axis Bank pays. If the UAE authority tries to claim on a different basis, something not stated in the guarantee, Axis Bank is not liable for it. The guarantee document is the contract. Axis Bank's liability begins and ends with what that document says. The second boundary, the URDG rules, but only to the extent they are consistent with the guarantee's own terms. This is an important nuance, my dear friends. URDG 758 is the framework under which the guarantee operates. All the rules we have been discussing, independence, document principle, amendment process, apply to this guarantee, but where the specific terms of the guarantee and the URDG rules appear to be in tension, the guarantee's own express terms take priority. The rules support and govern the guarantee, they do not override it. The third boundary, and this is the one that is the most immediately practical one, the guarantee amount. Axis Bank's liability cannot exceed the maximum amount stated in the guarantee. $5 million is $5 million. It does not matter if the build rights failure caused the UAE authority a loss of $20 million. It does not matter if the project was worth $50 million. Axis Bank's obligation is capped at $5 million. That is the ceiling. That is the number written in the guarantee and nothing. No argument, no claim, no loss calculation. You can't push that liability beyond the stated amount. Now, why does this matter so deeply? Because it gives every party in the transaction complete certainty about their exposure. Axis Bank, when it issues this guarantee, knows exactly what its maximum liability is. It can account for it, set aside the necessary provisions, and manage its risk accordingly. Rahul, as the applicant, knows that the guarantee is defined, it's a defined security instrument, not an open-ended liability that could, spiral beyond what was agreed. And the UAE authority, the beneficiary, knows exactly what security they hold. $5 million payable on a compliant demand under the stated conditions, no more, no less. This certainty is not just commercially convenient, it is the foundation on which the entire demand guarantee system is built. Without a clear cap on liability, the instrument becomes unpredictable. And unpredictable instruments are instruments that people stop trusting. So Article 12 also connects directly back to what we covered in Article 5 and Article 6. In Article 5, we established that the guarantee is independent of the underlying contract. In Article 6, we established that the bank deals only with documents. Now, Article 12 completes that picture. The bank's liability is defined entirely by the guarantee document itself and is capped at the guarantee amount. The underlying contract value does not matter. The actual loss suffered does not matter. The commercial dispute does not matter. What matters is what the guarantee says and how much it is for. That is the complete picture of the guarantor's world. Independent, document driven, and capped. So the practical takeaway from Article 12 is this: if you are a beneficiary like the UAE authority, when you negotiate a guarantee, negotiate the amount carefully, because that amount is your ceiling. Once a guarantee is issued, that is the maximum you can recover under it, regardless of your actual loss. If you're an applicant like Rahul, the guarantee amount is your defined exposure. It is not a floor that the bank can exceed. Your bank's liability under the guarantee will never go beyond that number. And if you're a guarantor like Axis Bank, Article 12 is your protection. Your liability is strictly limited to the terms of the guarantee and the guarantee amount. Nothing outside those boundaries can be demanded of you. That is Article 12, extent of guarantor's liability under guarantee unpacked. If the series is adding value to your trade finance knowledge, please like this video, share it with a colleague, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ravneet Knowledge Bites, if you have not already done that. The full URDG 758 series is live in the English Trade Bites playlist, article by article, and we are just getting started. See you in the next one. Thank you.